The nation's chief tonight also says that Matthew proved that the Bahamas is vulnerable to storms and unpredictable weather patterns. He has been stressing that if sea levels rise by 5 feet or more, 80% of the Bahamas will be no more.
But what once was a statement is now reality as we see the destruction weather systems leave behind. Clint Watson tells us that the Prime Minister focused on the crucial issue as he opened Diplomatic Week.
As the country reflects on the widespread devastation left by Hurricane Matthew, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie subscribes to the view that the mitigating effects of climate change are a threat to the very existence of the Bahamas and leaves us vulnerable as a nation.
So the issue for countries like the Bahamas is survival. Not a nice one as to whether philosophically you agree with climate change, but the evidence exists today of the extraordinary challenge that changing weather patterns poses to our country.
Mr. Christie says the Bahamas is a victim of its own success and is viewed as such by the world.
Where many people see us as a rich country able to bounce back largely on its own. Our neighbors in Florida have been most generous with their support because they know the country and the struggles that we face in bouncing back. Those further afield do not know.
The nation's leader says the government has taken on the burden that in addition to its budget, it will take out a bond of $150 million with local commercial banks that it will have to repay in order to help scores of Bahamians in need of help. There's also international organizations partnering with the country to help with restoration.
Great commitment to try to restore the economy as quickly as possible, because for every day it remains down, millions and millions of dollars are lost. But as most people would know, the cost of borrowing is exorbitant when we have to go to normal markets. The Bahamas cannot access the concessional financing because of this measure of GDP per capita. It would help enormously if that criteria were waived for this purpose.
The personal loss to residents as a result of Hurricane Matthew is far greater than that of Joaquin last year. The Prime Minister acknowledged that this in itself presents a challenge in the recovery and restoration phase.
People who have borrowed to finance their way of life and have mortgages even on household furniture and furnishings, and they've been flooded. And so on top of, therefore, the mortgage amounts that they owe, they now have to contemplate how to go about after losing.
And that wasn't the only thing. Prime Minister Christie, as he officially opened Diplomatic Week, also talked about the importance of the Bahamas protecting its borders. He also said we're going to protect those ties with those diplomatic nations that we've established diplomatic relations with. He also said it's important to ensure the Bahamas maintains its strong footing in the market. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.